I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though. It's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
What's up, Black Coffee Crew? Let's talk about the recent comments made by the hosts of The View, specifically Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg, about Caroline Leavitt, the new White House press secretary. So, here's the tea. After Leavitt's first press briefing, which by the way was described as a masterclass performance, Joy Behar decided to chime in, suggesting that Leavitt was only hired because, and I quote, she's a 10 according to Donald Trump. Now, let's just unpack that for a second. Behar, a self-proclaimed feminist, immediately resorts to reducing a woman's professional achievement to her physical appearance. This is the very thing she and the show claim to fight against. The irony is so thick you could spread it on toast.
Oh. Yeah. I would like this young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Yeah.
Because women were not invited to that table. Women were not invited to many tables in this nation. The reason we fought and busted our behinds to make sure that you didn't have to worry about this. And now to hear you talk about it and to hear anybody talk about the wokeness was put in place for a reason. Because black people couldn't get into colleges. Because women could not get into the colleges they wanted to go to. This is all women. Yeah. See, this is not black, Asian women. This is all women. Women were not invited to this party. It was a man's world, and we busted our asses to make sure that this was a person's world.
Whoopi Goldberg jumps in, suggesting that Leavitt only got her job because of wokeness. Goldberg goes on this rant about how women had to fight to get to the table, and somehow this justifies her criticism of Leavitt. First, she seems to be contradicting Behar, making it sound as though Leavitt only got her job because she is a woman, not because of her looks. And second, there's an element of arrogance in that statement, like she knows what was best for this. Young woman, the nerve! Here's the kicker, the same people who preach about supporting women, especially young women in their careers, are the first to undermine one based on what exactly? This is a young woman who has qualifications and experience. She's not just some pretty face plucked out of obscurity. She's clearly sharp, as demonstrated by her performance at her first press conference.
Of the 3,500 arrests ICE has made so far since President Trump came back into office, can you just tell us the numbers? How many have a criminal record versus those who are just in the country illegally?
All of them, because they illegally broke our nation's laws and therefore they are criminals as far as this administration goes. I know the last administration didn't see it that way, so it's a big culture shift in our nation to view someone who breaks our immigration laws as a criminal, but that's exactly what they are.
You made a point of the worst first. They all have a criminal record?
And welcome to the briefing.
If they broke our nation's laws, yes, they are criminal. Yes.
Thank you.
The comments made by the hosts of and at The View are not just disappointing, they are actively harmful. They perpetuate the idea that women's success can only be attributed to their looks or to wokeness hires instead of their capabilities and hard work. When we engage in this type of thinking, we are doing exactly what we say we're against, pushing women into these boxes. It dismisses the real achievements of women like Leavitt and sends a terrible message to aspiring female leaders everywhere. I find it particularly appalling that this is coming from a platform that prides itself on championing women. It feels like the playbook that they are using is to tear down any woman who does not fit their narrow political agenda. The hypocrisy is astounding. The same people who demand we recognize the achievements of women in positions of power are the same people tearing this young woman down on national television.
Saying Leavitt is a rock star.
Meantime, new rock star launched overnight. Now, I know she's been around for some time, but how's this? She's just 27, but she's fantastic. This is the brand new press secretary representing the president. Now, remember old Carrie Jean-Pierre just lying to people about how amazing Biden was, deep fakes. The one before that, Jen Psaki, circle around just telling lies. Well, they've been replaced with a lady called Caroline Leavitt. I repeat, you can see she's a lady of faith. She's a lady who knows how to fire guns recreationally. And she knows how to drop a few bombs verbally on a press pack that, remember, covered up for Biden and have told the worst possible lies about incoming future Hitler Trump. Have a look at her taking control of a room of people who normally wouldn't even roll their eyes at a person like her, but now they've got to listen.
While I vow to provide the truth from this podium, we ask that all of you in this room hold yourselves to that same standard. We know for a fact there have been lies that have been pushed by many legacy media outlets in this country about this president, about his family, and we will not accept that. We will call you out when we feel that your reporting is wrong or there is misinformation about this White House. I would like to point out to each and every one of you that in 2024, when Joe Biden was in the Oval Office, or upstairs in the residence sleeping, I'm not so sure, egg prices increased 65% in this country.
Let's be real, people. Caroline Leavitt is not a 10 or a woke hire. She's a young, intelligent professional who's doing her job. The comments from The View simply expose their own biases and, frankly, their insecurity. What we should be focusing on are her skills, experience, and how she's handling herself in her new role. She said she will give the truth from the podium and will call out the media when there is misinformation. Instead, we have to put up with the tired trope that a woman's success is only skin deep. So let's call this what it is. Blatant hypocrisy and a perfect example of how The View sometimes gets it so wrong. Instead of tearing down women who don't align with their political views, let's lift them all up, give credit where credit is due, and hold them accountable when we disagree. That's all the time we have for today. Let me know in the comments what you think about The View's comments on Caroline Leavitt. Until next time, stay woke, stay caffeinated, and keep it real. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.